I'm back today to record another live tarot reading for you guys. Today is actually a very special day. It's my best friend's birthday. So I just want to shout out to him if he's watching. He'll know who he is. And say hi and wish him a very special birthday. This video I wanted to record today because I feel like the energy was so good today. I was like, I gotta record today. I hope everyone's having a great day and feeling really good today. And I wanted to see what the vibe was going to be for this kind of corridor between the solar eclipse that happened on October 25th and the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening November 8th. So I feel like we're kind of between two worlds right now. Some of you may feel kind of stuck where you're at, or in between things. And you might kind of feel like you have to redo a lot of things. Like I just redid my sex and relationship horoscope because it came out all pixelated and I was like, what is this? And it could just be my slow connection on my cell phone when I rewatched it. But I felt like the second time, recording it was better. So for those of you, who are kind of very sensitive people, you might feel that you're kind of in between these eclipses, and we're just kind of trying to make it through this time. So I don't know, before I jump in, I do want to remind everybody that I'm accepting donations. All donations are very much appreciated this time. 65 people have watched my video where I was asking for donations and nobody has donated. So I just want to say that this is a great time to donate. Everything really, really helps, and I'm super appreciative for everything that's been given. So I also want to say I'm still doing private readings. And for those of you who have never read for me before, and you do follow me on Instagram, you can do $10 off if you follow me and you watch me over on there. But for everybody, my prices are it's $65 for 30 minutes or $80 for 45 minutes. And I do offer split payments, and I'm very conscious right now of inflation and what it's doing to everybody as far as paying their bills and stuff like that. So I'm trying to offer deals as best I can. Any referrals, if you know somebody that's read for, that I've read for, that referral and they refer, it's $10 off. And so I'm trying to help out as much as I can, but this is still my business, and I still make a living from it. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind. And I'm still partnering with Jackery. They do solar power generators. I've mentioned this before. And I want everybody to check them out because they're just really awesome. And I feel like going into the winter, it's going to be very helpful for people to have a generator. So I wanted to see what messages came through for today. So I am going to be pulling the cards and just seeing what I get. This is for all signs. This is for everyone. And just to see what messages come through. Interesting because like before I started recording, and I did a recording today already over on Instagram, but before I started recording, I saw this card about feeling kind of drained. So some of you may feel kind of drained, and that may be a theme for this energy between this solar eclipse and lunar eclipse on the 8th. My guide is showing me to read from the bottom of the deck, so I'm actually pulling cards from the bottom of this deck. See what we get here. Yeah, drained and tired, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is feeling quite drained and tired and just kind of hanging in there. Some of you just really hanging in there, trying your best to keep going. Some of you do feel quite lost, or just like you're not sure of like what your next steps may be. It's funny, the other reading that I did talked about a feeling of lack of clarity. So some of you may feel like there's not a lot of clarity. Some of you do need to work on your energy, raising your vibration, whatever ways that you resonate with, whether it's exercise, whether it's diet, whether it's drinking more water, whether it's spending more time in the sun, for some taking vitamin D, avoiding eating like junk food, avoiding any kind of things that are very draining. So like electronics, spending a lot of time on your cell phone or a lot of time in front of the TV or being kind of inactive too. I feel like though in this spread, the moon also indicates lies or deception. And that may be something that's going on within a relationship. I don't want to go too far into that because, it's not where I really want to take this reading. But I do read the cards and that's something that came up. So maybe that's something that you're dealing with, but it's not a major theme for this energy between these two eclipses, I don't feel. There is a lot of fear, though. There is a lot of fear. That to me is the theme. The Temperance card is frustration, feeling kind of hot and cold. Some of you may feel like on some days, like, you want to press the gas really hard on your life and get a lot done. And other days, you are just too, like, you suffer from, like, I don't know, inertia. For some of you, it's depression, where you just don't feel like motivated to do very much, or you might feel like for whatever reason you can't get a lot of things done. I've never noticed this before. Watch where your energy's going. There is something that's very consuming of your energy. That's what I'm seeing. I feel like it's a water sign for some of you. To me, there's an element of the water here. There's something consuming you. I don't know what that means. I feel like it's an energy that's around you, but it definitely could be a partner, a spouse, girlfriend, a boyfriend, someone in your family, that's kind of consuming you, or taking over your thought process. There's going to be someone who has, to me, it's someone who has a very bad temper. And when I think of this, I think of Pisces. So this could be a Pisces in your life that has a very bad temper, or someone in your life that has a very bad temper. To me, this is being pissed off about something. Kind of triggered by something. We have the Three of Swords as well coming in from the outside. So to me, that's getting hurt by something somebody said or did. Because we have both the Moon and the Three of Swords, this to me can indicate a death in the family. Someone close to you. They weren't together, but the cards weren't together. But when I've seen it, when they've come up in the same reading, to me, that is a death in the family. I don't know who that would be for you, but to me, that could be, to me, it's a water sign or it's a fire sign. It's very specific for this reading. It could be an earth sign of some kind. I feel like if it's earth sign, I feel like it's earth sign person that's pissing you off. Someone is pissing you off, or somebody who's pissing you off. And I don't feel like, I feel like you're gonna know who this is. So to me, this is somebody that's pissed you off before, that, or just has a very bad temper, or like that just has gotten under your skin in some way or hurt you in some way. There's also the Seven of Wands, which is arguments and cycles. I feel like this specifically is arguments or fighting. When I say fighting, it really means arguments. It doesn't mean like fighting like physically, but like for some people, if I say the word fighting, they think physically. It could be a physical fight for someone, but I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like most of you, it's just arguments with a person. It doesn't have to be someone in your family. It could be a relationship that you have to someone in your life. I don't know who it's going to be. I am not seeing who it is. For most of you, it's a water sign. For most of you, it's a water sign female. But it could be any female because to me, the Temperance cards has this feminine energy. So I'm going to say it's any female. For some of you, it's a water sign male. You may be a water sign male. You may also be a fire sign male that's watching. So it's just going to depend on people that are watching. To me, it's like this pocket of time. It's almost as intense as like what I used to see a long time ago for myself, like way back, way back again, back in 2012. So there are things that are going on. I encourage everybody to look back where they were in 2012. What happened in 2012? How did they get through that period of their life? Going into 2013. I felt like 2013 was a huge reprieve time. It was still very, very stressful, and I maxed out my stress levels. My stress levels were maxed out, but it was a reprieve time from 2012. So I feel like there's two parts to this energy. There's like the time where there's a lot of intense stuff that happens during this time, during this corridor, or even after. It could even be through the end of this year, but I feel like this corridor, there's a lot of intense stuff that's going to happen. And then after it, the reprieve is going to come later. That's what I'm seeing. November 8th, I feel like, and to me, this actually mimics what I've seen other readers say, actually, what I've heard. It's funny because I don't think about stuff like that when I'm reading sometimes, but most of the time I'm just reading like fresh, So you may be just kind of going through a lot in this short little period of time, this pocket of time, and there may be a lot of intense stuff that comes up, for the collective, for you personally. But there's a reprieve coming after the 8th, after this lunar eclipse. To me, it's a reprieve coming. A completion of stuff. I feel like it's a feeling of completion. I feel like you will have completed a lot of karma by November 8th. That's what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing the Six of Swords. When I say reprieve, the Six of Swords is, again, the opposite of what we have with the Seven of Swords. We have Seven of Swords being like arguments and back and forth, and he said, she said, drama, whatever. And then the Six of Swords, which is just, it's peace. It's like chill. It's freedom from worry. It's no longer worrying. So, I feel like that's the energy present here. So if you're going through a little bit of a rough time, I would just tell you to hang in there. Hang in there. There's not that much time left to get through with this energy, but I do feel like this energy is kind of pressing. I feel like this corridor of time is very pressing. You might feel under pressure, or like just like, like there's this shifting energy that's pressury. Maybe under the gun, under pressure to get stuff done, things like that. If, for whatever reason, you've had issues in your love life is going to shift after November 8th. I feel like we have the Two of Cups here, and the Two of Cups is a relationship. Could be a short-term relationship, long-term relationship. We also have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is being lifted up out of hardship. So to me, there's a lot of blessings coming after this lunar eclipse. That's what I see. I also see the Ten of Pentacles popping up here. And the Ten of Pentacles is usually money in sets of 10, actually, but it could be any amount of money. It could be $100 to $400, $1,000, to $10,000. It's a chunk of change. And for some of you, it's a large chunk of change, and for some of you, it's a small chunk of change. It's really just going to depend on who you are, in the world, and where you are in life. Yeah, I absolutely feel like the winds of change I'm seeing the winds of change and hearing the winds of change after November 8th. That's the energy. Let me see what else I get. There is this energy of restlessness and wildness that I'm getting too. I felt this a little bit yesterday. I hadn't felt it in so long. And what I call my wildness energy, it's sort of like, I don't really know how to describe it. But I get to a place, I think, where I'm like, the apartment is clean. I've done all my dishes. All the stuff that I've intended to do for the day are done. I've made a meal. I've cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? I've checked all my boxes. Everything's ready to go. And then it's just like, at that point, I'm like, I don't know what to do next. What comes next? There's this space for adventure. There's this space for the new. There's a space for, I don't know, doing something fun or going out or meeting somebody new or, I always say sticking your nose in the wind, and seeing what comes, or something that's going to, doing something that's going to inspire you. I feel like this is very, very, this is going to ring true specifically after November 8th. But if you feel it now, I would not be surprised if you felt it now. It's just, yeah, it's an energy of like, what's next? What's going to come next? It's a feeling like there's this episode. I don't know why I always think about Sex and the City when I'm recording, but where Carrie Bradshaw, she's like, she's thinking about, she feels like she's missing something or forgetting something, but she's like, no, everything's been paid, everything's clean, everything's done. And she gets kind of wild and restless. So you might have some restlessness where all of a sudden you just don't feel like sitting still. It's different than being bored, but boredom usually comes first, where you kind of just don't know what to do with yourself. And you're kind of unsatisfied with just like your daily life. And you kind of want something else. You want something new. You want something different. You're unsatisfied, So it's very interesting this is coming up. I feel like this is very going to ring true for the collective, actually. Some of you are going to have what's called true love. And I don't really talk about this much on my channel because, usually people come to me with ideas about relationships, and usually they're stuck on someone that they probably shouldn't be stuck on, but they come to me anyways, and I kind of talk them through what's available to them and what they're doing to meet people. And I don't really talk about true love that much, but we've got this beautiful card here to me about love, and it's about, and the devotion card also came up, and it, to me, it's like Cupid's arrow is going to strike. Like you're not going to see it coming. For some of you, this is actually being with someone who you really love. and having a relationship with that person, and you're going to know who that is. If you're not in a relationship with them yet, or like maybe you're just beginning to date or something like that, then you may know who this is. But there, to me, there's an energy of true love happening here, and it's very special. But to me, there is also this element of surprise where you don't realize, or you're not really expecting to fall in love. Like you might be like living your life la ti da, and then, uh, suddenly, there you are falling in love with someone, and it's not expected. Like it's not something you planned on. You're and maybe, you know, um, it's not who you were expecting to fall in love with either. I feel like there's a very strong pull to this person. Like, I feel like, again, you may not know this person, but you may know this person. But you're going to know who it is after you fall in love because there's this pull to them. Like, it's like a kind of pull where you kind of get, I don't know, sucked in a little bit. Or just like there's a lot of a strong attraction, magnetic attraction. And yeah, to me, it's a beautiful time. It's almost like, so this corridor of eclipses kind of feels like there's like the blinders. Like people are kind of blind right now. They don't know what's coming. They don't see what's coming. They're not expecting to find love. They're not even thinking about it. And then what happens after this lunar eclipse on the 8th is, to me, there's an opportunity. There's a very, very strong love vibe happening. Very, very strong. And it's incredibly beautiful. And for me to talk about this is funny because I don't go down the path of unrealistic. I go down the path of what I see. And if I don't see relationships, I don't see love, then I don't talk about it. But here there's like several cards showing up talking about love, talking about devotion, talking about being happy, talking about kind of having a lot of butterflies in your stomach, or butterflies for a specific person. Talking about building a home together or building a life together or having a family together. There's also a card about pregnancy. There's a card about, to me, again, it's all about, with the Two of Cups, it's this very strong love vibe. I should become the love doctor. I wonder if there's a degree for that. I don't know. A love therapist degree. But yeah, this is happening. I feel like this is absolutely happening. I feel like for some of you, you're going to get together with this person and you're going to burn the candle at both ends. You're going to want to talk to each other a lot and be together a lot and touch each other. And it's just going to be hard for you to kind of not be around each other or not be together. It's to me, it seems like the kind of relationship that's going to go for a very long time until you're old and gray and you're holding hands at the grocery store, and it's incredibly cute and endearing. And you kind of start to shrink and look alike, and you kind of become each other. It's just super cute. I don't know. I feel like if you do get into a relationship in November, I want to say in November, or something, you meet someone or something happens within relationships at that time, I feel that it's going to last for a very long time. A very, very long time. I'm seeing really, really long time. And I don't know why. I can't explain it. But yeah, this period of time is just sort of it's almost like a little bit of waiting, or you're not really sure about what's going to happen. But then after November 8th, it feels like There's definitely a strong love vibe of coming together. And this might be even for the collective as well, where I have to say this. I mean, I feel like it's time for the lights to turn on. You know, the dark has really had its run for like 2 years now, and I'm pretty sick of it, and everybody else is pretty sick of it. And it's just like I'm looking over, and I bought this mug um, that has hearts all over it, and I bought it with a specific person in mind. And my guide is showing me, I'm sorry, I was starting to cry because my guide is showing me that that it's the to me it's like it's time for like I don't know, love to be a priority again, or people to actually believe in love again, or believe that having a healthy relationship is possible, or even believe that they have like a soulmate that's out there. You know, it's funny, like in the last 2 years, people like I don't think anybody has asked me if I see anything with for them about a soulmate. I don't think so. Not in those terms. You know, people talk to me about their love life all the time. And I get clients talking about love life, of course. You know, I'm a psychic. You know, people call me for that stuff. But like people do not have not for the last 2 years called me and said, hey, you know, I'm dating this person. What's gonna happen with me and this, you know, Joe Schmo, you know? Like they don't do that. Because I just think honestly, people have forgotten, and I think people, yeah, people don't remember what it was like to love each other before the pandemic, honestly. And I think everybody's fallen under this spell of the dark, and it needs to like stop. And I think people need to become hopeful again or start to think about love again and make it as a priority or think about it as something important in their life. It used to be, honestly, I used to have, it's so funny. I don't even remember what I did with it. I used to have this little necklace that I wore, and on it said that if you don't have love, you don't have anything. And it meant that love was the most important thing. And at that time, this was again, it's so funny. I wore that necklace in 2012. I started wearing that necklace in 2009, I think. I bought it in 2009, which is a long time ago. But I absolutely believed at that time that love was the most important thing. I never wanted to get into a relationship where it was just a bullshit relationship, you know? And guys have tried. You know, they absolutely have tried to bullshit me into whatever, and I just have refused to do it because I was like, no, I want to be in a loving relationship. I want it to be about love. I don't want it to be about all these other things. I don't want it to be about the checklist. I don't want it to be about the money. I just want it to be about love and how we feel about each other and being together and having a life together. And it seems like and I held on to that so tightly. But I have to tell you that since 2020, it seems like people do not value that anymore. That's become the last thing that they want or the last thing that they need. And I had a conversation with someone not that long ago, and I think I mentioned this guy who didn't believe in it, and he was a Libra, okay? He didn't believe in it at all. He believed in multiple partners. He believed that no matter what, you were never going to be happy with just one partner, that people were never going to be happy with just one partner, that they were always going to want more, they were always going to want to cheat, they were always going to like sleep around and like, you know, have sex with multiple people. And I just was like, I said, no, I'm and I think I told him, I said, I'm going to hold out for real love, you know? I'm going to hold out for that. I'm going to have that. I'm going to really prioritize that. And I'm going to encourage my clients still to this day to have that, to look for that. Because to me, I was raised in a household with two parents that loved each other, and their foundation of their relationship was religion, but they did love each other. And they weren't out sleeping around. They weren't out fucking around with other people. They weren't bullshitting their way through life. They were really honest to God, like genuine people loving each other and having a relationship. And today that's like a small, small, small percentage of people. And I'm really grateful to have had their example. And maybe it taught me too much of the fairy tale a little bit too early. Or maybe I believed in the fairy tale for too long. I don't know. But I absolutely believe in love. And I believe that love is the most important thing. And I believe that we've lost that. And I think that that's what this is. You know, I pull this card and I love it when I pull cards that confirm. You see this at the top? You see those little hearts. It says force of attraction. And it says all love is enclosed in our love. And this is, to me, about magnetic attraction. But there's a poem that I wrote about an eclipse. And the line was, by the light of each day and the shadow of each night, nothing can keep us apart. And it was inspired by Pablo Neruda, who wrote a very similar poem. My poem a long time ago, and it's on my channel, you can see, I really should post in the comments the link to that poem, because I read that poem on here. And it was about an eclipse. And I truly believe that good things can come through an eclipse. And I think that this lunar eclipse specifically will mark the ending of this paradigm where the dark has absolutely had its way for too long. And that's going to be because it can't see. And there's this, I forget what his name is, this really cool guy, YouTuber, who talked about, he said, at the moment when the dark becomes the most dense, the light comes in. Like, so it's when it's the darkest, that's when the light comes on. That's when the light comes in to balance it. So honestly, I feel like with this eclipse, especially with this lunar eclipse, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional, I feel like there's this balance point that's going to happen with this lunar eclipse. That's absolutely bringing in the light for humanity, and I think for love. I'm not cheating you here. This is what I see in the cards. I absolutely have confirmation on this. I do feel like this very, very strongly. Now, does that mean every relationship, in November is going to be amazing? No. Does that mean, people aren't going to have to work on relationships? No. But I feel like, I feel like the discussion, the partnerships discussion, or the element of like relationships or having relationships discussion is not existing at this point in time. People are just not caring about that. And I don't really get why. And I talked to this girl recently. She does one of those, coffee things. And she told me, we were talking about relationships, and she's like, she's young. I don't know, maybe not even 21. She said that like no guys right now are single. Like nobody has relationships where they're single anymore, where there's not bullshit, where there's not cheating, where there's not somebody else. It was just a phenomenon to me. She's like, it doesn't exist. She's like, every guy that I've talked to, they're all in other relationships, every single one. I just thought that was a phenomenon. So I feel like there's a lot of things that are going on. They're going to be shifting, but I feel like it's a positive direction. I do. I'm going to post a link to my November horoscope for all signs. I still feel that November is going to feel a lot lighter and be a lot better. So you guys just have to hang in there. We just got to get through this time. That's really, to me, like the main thing. I gotta check my chat. Let's see what we've got. Nobody's in the chat. I think I just want to pull one last card here. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful way to end the reading. We've got this beautiful card from, which one is this? The Angels and Ancestors Oracle Guides or Oracle Cards deck. And this card to me talks about looking past these details, like little things now. It's sort of like if you're stressing about things in your life, like you're hyper focused on whatever it is, paying your bills. Oh, hi, Priscilla. Thanks so much for joining. Hyper focused on a specific person in a relationship, or hyper focused on doing something for school or an exam, or, whatever it is, you might be hyper laser focused on it. And it's just, to me, like the message is seeing past this one person, seeing past this one moment, this one point in time, setting goals, looking at the bigger picture, looking at like your life, what you want your life to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Because I feel like people, and especially the parents right now, the parents that I meet right now, they're in survival mode. They are not setting goals. They are living day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. They're focused on the meal at hand. They're focused on like getting their kids dressed. They're just not, and like maybe going to work every day. They're lucky if they show up on time. They're lucky if they clock out on time. And they're lucky if they make it home in time to make food for their kids. And it's just like, I feel like for many people, many people, the collective message is to set your sights higher, to look farther out, to think long term, to think bigger picture, to not obsess or about your current worries, because with this eclipse, it's going to be a thing of the past. Like if you're in stress mode, it's going to be a thing of the past. Your relationship right now, it's going to be a thing of the past. Whatever guy or girl you're obsessing about, they're going to be a thing of the past. It's not like your life is going to be the same. It's just not going to be the same. And so it's not going to make a difference right now. Like if you are stressing about something or thinking about something or worried about that, people said that I think about the minutia. The details, a lot of people are detail oriented. If you're female and you're watching, you're detail oriented. So you're thinking about the details about stuff and you're obsessing about the details. And like, it's not like you need to think about the bigger picture, bigger thoughts, and dream bigger and stand a little bit taller and do a little bit more for your life, for the bigger picture. And I'll tell you something, when I'm doing things that are for my future, that aren't about the moment, maybe it's prepping a little bit, planning a little bit, I feel the most productive. I feel the most like I've gotten something done. Whereas the rest of the time, I may or may not. And so you have to think about your future. You have to think about the future. And you have to maybe start writing stuff down, making some goals, implementing those goals, and saying, what is it that I want 5 years from now? And start to really look at that. That's the message. Let me check. Priscilla, if you'd like to get a private reading, I'm sorry you came on late. If you'd like to get a private reading, check me out on my website, oracledaphne.com. If anybody else wants to get a private reading, please hit me up over there. All the links to my email address and PayPal are there. It's very easy to book a reading with me. So thank you guys so much for being amazing fans. If anybody wants to donate, now is the time. I appreciate it so much. And I wish everybody the best. I send everybody big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye, guys.